करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
तो कैमरा तो बंद कर दो, माइक भी बंद करो।
मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 4, verse number 14. Yadviyaksharam nama giritam vranam sagart prasanghat agamasu hantitat pavitra kiritam tam alangya shasanam bhavanaho dvesti shivam shivetara. Yet which dvi aksharam, consisting of two letters, nama, named, gira, iritam, merely being pronounced by the tongue, nranam, persons, sakrit, once, prasangad, from the heart, agam, sinful activities, ashu, immediately, hanti, destroys, tat, that, pavitra kiridam, whose fame is pure, tam, him, alangya sasanam, whose order is never neglected, bhavan, you, aho, oh, tvesti, envy, shivam, Lord Shiva, Shiva itharaha, who are inauspicious, who are inauspicious. Translation, purport by His Divine Grace, Sati continued, my dear father, you are committing the greatest offense by envying Lord Shiva, whose very name consists of two syllables, Si and Va, purifies one of all sinful activities. His order is never neglected. Lord Shiva is always pure, and no one but you envies him. Purport. Since the Lord Shiva is the greatest soul among the living entities, within this material world, name Shiva is very auspicious for persons who identify their body with the soul. If such persons take shelter of Lord Shiva, gradually they will understand that they are not material body, but are spirit soul. Here, it is described in this beautiful verse. Mother Sati is speaking to her own father, saying the glories of Lord Shiva, how even the name of Lord Shiva, which consists of Dve Aksharam, is Dve Aksharam, explaining She and Vav, these two words are so auspicious. What he is saying? It's both are, as she continued, she is saying, my dear father, you are committing the greatest offense by envying Lord Shiva, whose very name consisting of two syllables, Shi and Va, purifies one's sinful activities. His order is never neglected. Lord Shiva is always pure, and no one but you envies him. Here, the name Shiva is very auspicious for persons who identify with him, with the soul. All the problems, the contamination Daksha had was, he was looking everything from the bodily perspective. He is my son-in-law. That is a more bodily designation. But he is not seeing originally who is Lord Shiva. The later verses of the same chapter, later chapters of the same canto will come to know when Lord Vishnu comes and he will explain from the Yajna then who he is here. If such persons take shelter of Shiva is very auspicious for persons who identify with the soul. If such person takes shelter of Lord Shiva, gradually they will understand that they are not the material body, but are spirit soul. So Shiva Tattva is far above the Jiva Tattva and is the expansion of Lord is manifesting for the specific purpose as Lord Shiva to take up the material world activities, which is explained very detailedly in the previous verses, and we'll also will come to know who is Shiva and how he has to be glorified. The whole of Bhagavatam, in many places, Lord Shiva is being glorified as from canto to canto. Canto never misses without Lord Shiva. If a such person takes shelter of Lord Shiva, gradually they will understand that they are not the material body but the spirit soul. Shiva means Mangala or auspicious. Within the body of the soul is within the body, the soul is auspicious. Aham Brahma Asmi, I am Brahman. This realization is auspicious. As long as one does not realize his identity as soul, whatever he does is inauspicious. So that is the foundation of spiritual realization. One has to understand that I am spiritual soul. So we have to see to our all activities whether my activities is giving nourishment to my body or soul. Of course, we need to go for a long journey from this conditioned state to the pure state. The soul without body cannot do any activities. The activities should be dovetailed with the Supreme Lord, and all our activities should turn into transcendental service to the Lord. That means we have to anchor to becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. So for doing the activities, the body is required. So all our endeavor of material activities should be minimalistic to keep the body and mind intact or together. At least in the concept or conscious level, we have to understand this. If we understand this, and if we do any materialistic activities beyond this concept, then we will start feeling guilty. Otherwise, if we are not feeling guilty when we do extra bodily activities, which is more than required, we will not feel that we are committing offense. So the body here, Prabhupada is saying any activities, if you are not in the platform of soul, that activities are inauspicious. Shiva means auspicious, and the devotee of the Lord Shiva gradually come to the platform of spiritual identification. But that is not all. Auspicious life begins from the point of spiritual identification. That is the foundation. If we consider our spiritual journey as a building, the very basic understanding of the spirit soul is the foundation. Once the spirituality starts developing upward, the existence of foundation is not appreciated. That means foundation is achieved and it is very strong. That is the development of the building, steady development of the building ensures us that the foundation is secured and is rigid. Similarly, if we are seeing a devotee growing nicely, his development is going nicely, if appreciated by the pure devotees of the Lord, that means his foundation, that understanding of the spirit soul as the predominant factor than the body, is ensured. That one has to understand. If one is actually a devotee of Lord Shiva, he comes to the platform spiritual realization. But if he is not intelligent enough, then he stops at the point. Only realization, realizing that he is spirit soul, Agam Brahmasmi. If he is intelligent enough, however, he should continue to act in the way of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is always absorbed in the thoughts of Vasudeva. We can see Lord Shiva in many paintings by the pure devotees meditating upon in a secluded place, in a serene forest atmosphere. He sits on an elevated platform on a deer skin or a tiger skin, holding his japamala on his hand, closed eyes, and completely meditating upon Lord Shiva. So he is always meditating upon Lord Vasudeva. As previously explained, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sabdhitam. Lord Shiva is always in meditation of Lord, the lotus feet of Vasudeva Sri Krishna. Thus, the auspicious position of Lord Shiva is realized if one takes worship of Vishnu. Thus, the auspicious position of Lord Shiva is realized if one takes up worship of Vishnu, because Lord Shiva says in Shiva Puran, the topmost worship is worship of Lord Vishnu. So even to understand Lord Shiva, one has to take up the worship of Lord Vishnu through because once we become Lord Vishnu, then we understand the qualities of the pure devotees of the Lord, and we all know that through Bhagavatam, Vaishnavanam Yadha Sambhu. If we see among all the rivers, Ganges is the most pure. Similarly, among all devotees, Shambhu, the Lord Shankar, is the highest of devotees. So to understand that Lord Shiva is the highest devotee, one has to become pre-qualification that one has to become the devotee of Lord Vishnu. Thus, the auspicious position of Lord Shiva is realized if one takes up the worship of Lord Vishnu, because Lord Shiva says that Shiva Puran, that the topmost worship is worship of Lord Vishnu. Lord Shiva is worshipped because he is the greatest devotee of the Lord Vishnu. One should not, however, make mistake by considering Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu to be the same level. That's a grave mistake, because from Lord Shiva, from Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu, these three, the great agents, the great demigods, for the maintenance, for the creation, maintenance, and annihilation are being created. So the source of Shiva also from Vishnu. So we should not, then it becomes, we should not relate both of them equal because they have same quality. It is not like that. Then it becomes aparad. It is also enjoyed in the Vaishnavaya Purana that Vishnu and Narayana is exalted Supreme Personality of Godhead, and no one should be compared to him is equal, even Lord Shiva or Brahma, not to speak of the other demigods. So wherever if we see the Lord Shiva is being glorified in Puranas, is glorified along with Lord Vishnu, because he is the source of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, known as Mahadeva, or the great god or demigod. Devas means demigods, and he is the Mahadev. He is the top amongst them. He is known as the highest demigod because he is the great devotee of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. He has taken up his service so amazingly. He demonstrated his quality in every possible time. Even in the Daksha Yajna pastime, he demonstrated it. Lord Shiva is always seen seated in yoga posture and meditating, for his mind is in deep concentration of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Like other demigods, he has been deputed by Lord Krishna to provide material benedictions to those who worship him. We know that how wonderfully his name is Ashutosh. Every class we discuss. Ashutosh means he is easily uh, pleasable. So the devotees take him for the material benefits. He never knows that whether he cares that whether this benefit, this benediction is going to help him eternally or not. But when he is pleased, he gives this benediction. Lord Shiva is generally the demigod to go for people in the mode of ignorance. They don't go their thought process very high. They go in the lower level. People in mode of ignorance usually crave material benediction, and they know that Lord Shiva is very easily placed, so they go to him to fulfill their desires. And when they don't think about who am I, as Vedanta Sutra describes, Atato Brahma Jijnasa, when we get the human form of life, the first duty is to inquire about ourselves. If we don't do that, then what is the use of getting human form of life? The material pleasures are very much available in the lower species. We don't know how to get a human form of life. So the best, Srila Prabhupada always used to say, we should have not taken body, but we got the human form of body, but we have to make use of the best use of bad bargain. Bad bargain is this body. But when we got the body, we have to see to it that we are using the best use of bad bargain. Best use of bad bargain is this Atato Brahma Jijnasa. So when we into that, then we know what is the position of self, what is the position of material existence, what is the nature of the material cosmic creation, and how it is being created, maintained, and annihilated, and who are the controllers of these activities. These are all comes under Brahma Jijnasa. Lord Shiva is generally the demigod to go to. Okay, there have been many examples. We have been discussing about that, but we'll see to some examples today also. There have been many examples in the past where demons worship Lord Shiva in order to obtain things that were not used for their good purpose. It is seemingly they think that it is going to give them benefit. The evil Rakshasa Ravana worshipped Lord Shiva and was granted many powers through him. Used these powers to wreak havoc throughout the world. The demigods were really worried and frightened about this Ravana, until he was finally stopped by Lord Krishna himself through his incarnation of Lord Rama. We know that. And another famous pastime, Vrikshasura once asked Lord Shiva for the benediction that he will be unable to kill anyone simply by placing his hand on their head. Lord Shiva granted this wish, and the demon immediately tried to place his head on Lord Shiva. See, it is going to counteract on him, and he understood. Then he was running. Finally, Lord Vishnu then intervened and tricked the demon into killing himself. This is an example, and also many examples. If we see Vishwamitra Muni, prior to becoming a great sage, was a Kshatriya king and he worshipped Lord Shiva in order to procure weapons that he would later use to attack noble sage Vasishta. Vishwamitra was defeated and eventually became very pious Brahmana. So these are all process, and we see how Lord Shiva was so easily be pleased and get the devotees, his devotees get that, and eventually they are not going to get anything perpetual happiness because they were all in the mode of ignorance. In all these instances, we see that the Lord Shiva was easily pleased based on the austerities and not necessarily the qualities of the person performing them. Though he is boon granter, Lord Shiva is best known for him for being great Vaishnava or devotee of Lord Vishnu. In Brahma Vaivartana Purana, of Lord Shiva takes birth, he tells Lord Krishna that he wants to spend all his time thinking of him. Lord Krishna tells Shiva that he must get married to goddess Parvati, but not to worry because Parvati will only increase his devotion to him. In this way, we see that Lord Krishna and Shiva always had a loving relationship. Lord Shiva is also a narrator of the story of Lord Rama, found in Brahmananda Purana, which forms the basis of the Ramachandra Manasa of Tulasidas. Tulasidas Ramacharita Manasa is based on these stories. Lord Shiva beautifully narrates the life of pastimes of Lord Rama to his wife Parvati. He explains that Lord Rama is the supreme personality of Godhead, and that devotion to him is the highest perfection of life. See, he is the highest devotee of the Lord. He is the top class devotee. So in our grave thought, we should never disrespect Lord Shiva. And whenever we get a chance, we should try to glorify him. Since he always resides in the city of Kashi in India, Lord Shiva whispers the name of Rama into the ear of anyone who dies there. In this way, people who give up their bodies in Kashi are granted in liberation from cycle of birth and death. Even in Navadip, we have many temples of Lord Shiva. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited there and they say they worship the Vaishnavas, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, go there, worship them to make him, help him. We remember the Lord Krishna when we leave the body. Actually, Lord Shiva works for the benefit of everyone and tries to help the living being make spiritual advancement. This is why he has his own line of disciplic succession. We all have the Rudra Sampradaya. He understood what is the purpose of being a human form of life. So he started his own spiritual lineage. We have one Sampradaya called Rudra Sampradaya. This is also why he says to the sons of king in Prachina Burgis, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is very elaborately given. He says, any person who is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, the controller of everything, is very dear to me. Lord Shiva says this to Prachin Burgis. The sons of the king were going practice austerity. Prachetas, the sons of Krishnabargi, they were going to practice austerities to worship Lord Vishnu, and while searching for suitable place, happened to find Lord Shiva. His bodily luster was like molten gold. His throat was bluish. He had 3 eyes and was accompanied by musicians and were glorifying him. These sons of Prajanbragi, they were saying this scene. Shiva is the protector of the pious and those with gentle behavior. So he was pleased to speak to the princess the way he did. He continued this way. He spoke to them in this following way. A person who is directly surrendered to the Lord Krishna or Vishnu in unalloyed devotional service is immediately promoted to the spiritual planet. I, Lord Shiva, and other demigods attain these planets only after the destruction of the material world. Even he is being he is the top class Vaishnava. He is glorifying other people who is chanting the holy name of the Lord Krishna and who is worshipping and doing devotional service. At the end of their life, they can go back to home, back to Godhead. But he is still saying, we are not fortunate enough like you. We have to be here until the final annihilation happens here. I know in this way that the devotees also respect me, that I am dear to them. Thus, no one can be so dear to the devotees as I am. Is telling to them that I am uh, for the benefaction of all of you. I am giving all this knowledge so that you can easily and peacefully worship Lord Vishnu and go back home, back to Godhead. In this way, I am very close to them, to the all devotees of the Lord. In this way, a devotee of Krishna does not disrespect Lord Shiva, but worships him as the greatest devotee of the Lord Krishna. A Krishna Bhakta also prays to Lord Shiva, but asks Shiva to assist him to attain the favor of Lord Krishna, and not merely for material benefits. The demons do that, but devotees never do that. As you find the Tulasi Ramayana, Uttarakanda, Doha 45, Lord Rama says, with joined palms, I lay before you another secret doctrine. Lord, in the Tulasi Ramayana, he's saying, with joined palms, I lay before you another secret doctrine. Without adoring Shankara, Lord Shiva, man cannot attain devotion to me. In Tulsi Ramayana, it has become a prerequisite that one to get Lord Rama or Krishna, one has to get the devotion of Shankara. So in this way, Shiva can assist us in attaining devotion to Lord Krishna and his expansions. After Lord Shiva had spoke to the sons of King Prachinibagi, he relates a particular mantra for their benefit, which is pure and auspicious for everyone who wants to attain ultimate goal of life. This mantra is called Shiva's song and consists verses 33 to 79 of the 24th chapter of 4th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. He starts prayer in the verse, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O all glories unto you. You are the most exalted and all self-realized soul. Since you are always auspicious for the self-realized, I wish that you be the auspicious to me. You are worshipable by virtue of all perfect instructions you give. You are the super soul. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you as a supreme living being. The Shiva starts speaking like this in from the verse number 33 to 79 of the 24th chapter of Srimad 4th canto. Through the remaining 45 verses of this prayer, Lord Shiva praises many qualities, characteristics, and powers of the Supreme Being in the form of Lord Krishna. At the end of many years, in which sons of king called Prachetas repeated these prayers every day, Lord Vishnu himself appeared to them, said, those who will offer me the prayers composed by Lord Shiva, both in the morning and the evening, will be given benediction by me. This way, they can both fulfill their desires to attain good intelligence. Also, in this canto, what we are reading now, also after a couple of chapters, 4.6.42 to 53, we can see Lord Shiva's greatness among demigods. During the disaster ritual of Daksha, which we are going through now, who displayed the great dislike of Lord Shiva and Shiva's wife Durga, Sati, immolated herself in fire, which is going to happen in few verses in this chapter. Sati was Daksha's own daughter and could not tolerate the insult of her father made towards her husband, Shiva. So, while in meditation, he burst into flames. Therefore, Lord Brahma and the demigods went to pacify Lord Shiva. Brahma consoled Shiva and addresses him as my dear Lord and called him the controller of the entire universe, combination of mother and father of the universe, and the supreme Brahman beyond this creation. Therein we see that Brahma, the partial creation of the universe, offers prayers to Lord Shiva as a superior. This is to appease Lord Shiva, since it is known that his anger can annihilate the universe. These verses are going to happen after the same chapter what we are reading. When the rituals was able to continue, the Daksha offered the clarified butter with the mantras from Yajurveda. Lord Vishnu appeared there in his original form of Narayana, as described in the Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 7th chapter, verse number 18 to 29. As soon as Lord Vishnu appeared, all demigods, including Brahma and Shiva, the Gandharvas and sages immediately offered their respectful obeisances. In the presence of Lord Vishnu, glaring effulgence from his body, everyone else's luster faded. Everyone offered their prayers to him. Therein, Lord Shiva addressed Lord Vishnu, my dear Lord, my mind and consciousness are always fixed on your lotus feet, which as the source of all benediction and the fulfillment of all desires are worshipped by all liberated sages, because your lotus feet are worthy of worship. With my mind and fixed on your lotus feet, I am no longer disturbed by persons who blaspheme me, claiming that my activities are not purified. I do not mind their accusation. I excuse them out of compassion. Just you exhibit compassion towards all living entities. Beautiful prayers. After all the personalities had offered their prayers to Lord Vishnu, he replied, Daksha, Brahma, Shiva, and I are the supreme cause of material manifestation. I am the super soul, the self-effulgent witness, but impersonally, there is no difference between Brahma, Lord Shiva, and me. I am the original personality of Godhead, but in order to create, maintain, and annihilate the cosmic manifestation, I act through my material energy. And according to the different grades of activity, my representation are equally named. The Lord Shiva from the Yajna, he is speaking like this. One who is not in proper knowledge thinks that the demigods like Brahma and Shiva are independent, or he thinks that the living entities are independent. If they are thinking that they are ignorant. The person with average intelligence does not think the head and the part of the body to be separate. Similarly, my devotees does not differentiate Vishnu and all pervading personality from anything or any living entity. One who does not consider Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva or the living entities in general to be separate from the Supreme, and who knows Brahman actually realizes peace, others do not. So they have to see the very subtle difference. They are all in one of Vishnu for specific reason, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, but they never be equal. We have to understand. What is the indicate? What this indicates is the interdependence of the demigods on Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu, this is why if any calamity for the demigods happens, they go to Shirasagaram to worship Lord Vishnu, Narayana, to intervene. We have seen this one. in many past times. Lord Vishnu is the ultimate cause of universal creation. Lord Brahma was born out of Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva was born from Lord Brahma. It is the energy that comes from Lord Vishnu in the form of Brahma and Shiva that creates and annihilates the universe. Lord Brahma is manifested for the continuation of the creation, while Lord Shiva assists the annihilation. In this way, they are interconnected and work together like parts of a single body. Yet, they all play distinct and significant roles in the affairs of the cosmos, but are dependent on Lord Vishnu. When we see that all living beings are expansions from the Supreme Lord and His energy, then one can achieve real peace. In fact, it is said that these sages and devotees who see with equal vision become worshipable by Lord Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu. Once, when Lord Shiva was traveling, he met the great sage Markandeya as he was coming out of the yogic trance. At the time, Markandeya offered prayers to Lord Shiva, who blessed the sage and then asked if there are any benediction that the sage wanted. As described in Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 10th chapter, 19th to 22nd verse, Sutta Goswami says, Lord Shiva, the foremost demigod, and the shelter of the saintly devotees, was satisfied by Markandeya's praise. Pleased, he smiled and addressed the sage. Lord Shiva said, please ask me for some benediction, since among all givers of benediction, we three, Brahma, Vishnu, and I, are the best. Seeing us never goes in vain, because simply by seeing us, a mortal achieves immortality. The inhabitants and ruling demigods of all planets, along the Lord Brahma, the Supreme Lord Hari, and I glorify, worship and assist those Brahmanas who saintly, always peaceful, free and material attachment, compassionate to all living entities, purely devoted to us, devoid of hatred and endeavor with all equal vision. These devotees do not differentiate between Lord Vishnu, Brahma, and me, nor do they differentiate between themselves and other living beings. Therefore, because you are this kind of saintly devotee, we worship you. So, in this way, we can see Lord Shiva's position as the top class devotee coming from Lord's energy, and he is performing his given task of annihilation and keep the jivas in the conditioned state in the mode of ignorance under his surveillance. Hare Krishna, we'll stop here. Any questions, comments?
Hare Krishna Babu, you did very good. You covered so many things and you went everywhere. But I have got few points to add on, if you don't mind.
Yes, please, Prabhu. Please, Prabhu.
See, actually, Shiva is, you said that she's Asutosh, no? Asu means easily. Tosh means Santosh. She becomes happy very fast.
Correct.
Actually, Shiva is so humble. He has no house. He's staying in crematorium. And Durga Devi also, she's the leader. She's the Mahamaya, but she's telling, my husband has no house. So once she's telling Shiva, that why can't we have one house? He said, okay, then they construct a very good house, fantastic house. And they're calling people for prasadam, everybody's eating and going. He has given whatever he has got, he has given. Last one, Brahmana comes and he's eating and he's telling, what do you want, Brahmana? He said, you will give whatever I want. When you have come to eat, I will give you whatever you want. He's telling, I want this house. He's giving. And Parvati is telling, what is this? You have made this house for us to live and you gave it. So this is the nature of Shiva. He doesn't see he's totally out of false ego. So if anybody wants to remove false ego, you have to go to Shiva. You can remove that. The Sri Sampradaya, the Iyengars, some people, those who are latest people, they are very ignorant. When then they say, I'm an Iyer. Oh, they just think in Shiva means you have to take bath, and they just don't even look at the Shiva temple. Whereas Srila Prabhupada said, whenever is Shiva temple, you go and pay full Dandavat Pranam. Because he's telling Shiva is Ashutosh. So you go and ask him for Krishna Bhakti, will give it. So intelligent people should go to Shiva temple and nicely meditate and ask him to give. And actually Shiva is meditating on Sankarshana. Even when he left, he was meditating on Sankarshana only. So he is always meditating on Sankarshan. And Shiva, when he took the poison in the Samudra Manthan, so he took actually Vishnu called Brahma. Brahma said, no, if I drink, I will die. Shiva took it immediately. And some people say that Shiva took it and Parvati came and stopped it. That's when Nilakanta has come. Actually, what Srila Prabhupada says is, Shiva took the poison, but he is always chanting Ram, 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 Ram. So when poison was going in, Rama was going out. So Vish was coming in, Ram was going out. So when it clashed, it became Vish Ram. That's why that thing happened. So this is the real story of how that. So this shows that if anybody want to do anything to you, if you just keep chanting Hare Krishna mantra, nothing. And that is again proved by Prahlad Maharaj. Nothing happened. His father tried ice and fire and everything inside the water ice box. Nothing, because he was chanting. So this is the glorification of chanting. Shiva proved and Prahlada proved. Shiva gives all boons, you told no. So that was actually Bhasmasura. You told Vitrasura, but you said?
Vrikshasura.
Vrikshasura. But
Later this pastime is known as Bhasmasura.
Bhasmasura. So,
after this pastime only his name became Bhasmasura because he became Bhasma. Original name was Vrikshasura.
Vrikshasura. Actually, Krishna calls and tells that don't give boon like this. To Brahma also he told. He gave a boon for investment here, there, and I had to go and stand inside the pillar. And to Shiva, he told, you are giving a boon that anybody touching they will die. I had to become that lady, and he made him to dance. And he said, if you want me, you should dance the way I want. So he danced and danced, and finally he put the dance like this. And then Asura also put, Asura died immediately. And then Mohini Murti, actually, Prabhupada says, it was a Leela Krishna wanted to show. Even Brahma also going behind his daughter and all, it was a Leela. Because they are all top people. And actually, people say Shiva is in the mode of ignorance. No, he is in the mode of pure goodness only. But he has been told to take care of mode. And even Brahma also not in the mode of passion. He has been told to take care of mode of passion. People, the devotees in the mode of passion. Shankaracharya is a live example that though he came and told Advaita, because that was the order of Krishna, because after Buddha came, everything got stopped. And then Shankaracharya restarted the puja and all. So, and in the end he wrote, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudavade, Samprate Sannigite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati, Dukhim Karane. So he told the whole Bhagavad Gita, Punarapi Jannam, Punarapi Maranam. So he told the philosophy what Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita to show that he is a devotee of Krishna. But the people who are following, they're telling what Shankaracharya told, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate, only Mudas to do the work. They totally changed what Shankaracharya told. This is what the current status. And Durvasa Muni is an incarnation of Lord Shiva. And Shiva only told Radha Kripa Kataksha Stotra, he advised to Parvati. And in that very important point, that if you go to Radha Kund and stand there and tell 100 times, definitely Radha and Krishna will come to your life very soon. And that Mataji from Delhi, she got the darshan, Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So I am going on 4th November by Krishna's mercy. My mother is okay. Get book for this Kartik Pena, 4th to 12th, along with Padmini Mataji. So just pray that I go and stand and tell. And Shiva only told the whole Bhagavatam to Parvati, and she was sleeping after the 3rd canto, and Sukadeva Goswami heard. So Sukadeva Goswami also got the foundation only from Shiva for Bhagavatam. Then only he went to Vatika Mataji's womb, he went to the forest, and again his father Vedavyas taught him. So Shiva is also responsible for giving him the knowledge as a parent. And Shiva actually, he is the Bhuta Ganati Sevitam. Kavita Jambu. Actually, he is always helping the Bhuta, Preta, the nobody, those who are committing sins, they know where to go. So Shiva is always telling, don't worry, be with me. So those who are doing the Bhoga, sex, the Sandhya Vela, so for them, definitely the Bhutas will be sent, and they become the Rakshasa children nowadays. People don't know what time to do. They don't know the Garbhadan Samskar and all. So Shiva will help somehow to get a body, human body. And Shiva is also expanded as Sada Shiva, and which comes in Advaita Acharyas, where he is Vishnu Tattva, Sada Shiva and Vishnu together. So Sada Shiva Lok is just below the Vaikuntha. And Shiva is, out of all the kalpas, one time, Krishna made Shiva the supreme person of Godhead. I read in Bhagavatam. Somewhere he becomes the supreme Lord in one of the times after all the incarnations. And Shiva made Parvati, Ganapati, Kartikeya, all devotees of Krishna. Because when Ganapati wanted to, actually when they were saying who will become the primeval God to remove all the obstructions. So the competition given was whoever will go 3 times the material world, they can become the Adipati. So Kartikeya said, I will go in the Mayura. Everybody went, Indra, Chandra and all. And Ganapati asked Shiva, what should they do? You go. No, I got Murchika Vagana, I got rat. You go. If Krishna wants, you'll get it. And the only condition was Narada Muni will come when they're going. So everybody avoided Narada Muni and went. Ganapati went and told Narada Muni, what should I do? How can I serve you? No, you have to go for the race. No, I am not bothered. I want to know, if you tell me, I will tell Bhagavatam and race will be over. I am ready to hear Bhagavatam. And immediately Narada Muni says, I just want to test you. No, you already won. So how? You just go out and see. He go out and saw he has already reached the final level. And Kartikeya, Indra, Chandra are coming back. They said, how this Motu person went so fast with the rat? He got it. And then they will ask, Narada Muni will ask, what is your father who worships? He worshipped Rama, he said. So he said, then what you do is, before he reached the ending place, he says, how can I get the prize? He said, you have to go 3 times. So 3 times I cannot go. No, which is your Ishta, father, sister, Devta? He said, Ram. Then you go and go surrounding Ram. How will I go to Ayodhya? No, you just write with your trunk Rama and 3 times. The way he won with Kartikeya once to get the mango, he went and he got the prize. So then Shiva and Ganapati are celebrating. They think Ram, Ram, Ram. Then Parvati comes. What are you chanting? Rama. Then she became chanting Rama. After some time when she came, they're doing Krishna. What? Krishna. Then she goes and chants Krishna. Then after them, they're saying Gaura, Gaura, Gaura. What is this? Said Gauranga is most powerful. Then then actually Gauranga Mahaprabhu gives some prasadam to Shiva, and he got it from Narada Muni, and he didn't give it to Parvati. Parvati goes and complains. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu said, outside my temple, there will be a temple for that is Jagannath Puri, that becomes Parvati temple. So whatever is offered to Jagannath, she will get
Vimala
generally every.
Vimala Devi, no?
Vimala Devi. Too many things came. I couldn't write everything. And then Shiva, Parvati, Ganapati, and Kartika, they're discussing. Shiva's Vahana is bull and snake on the neck. Parvati's Vahana is lion. Kartika is his Mayur. And Ganapati is his rat. So snake will eat rat. Bull will kill lion. Lion will kill bull. And the Mayura will eat snakes. So all of them are contradictory. So they didn't fight because the family which prays together stays together. The family which dances together advances together. So he proved that their whole family having so much of competition with their Vahanas, but still they're living because they're all Krishna's devotee. Muruga is called in Chennai Tirumal Margan. That is Vishnu's Banja. Yes, thank you. I took so much time. But you really covered the whole thing. There's nothing left. This recording should be given.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
I had some point, that's why I gave. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Thank you, devotees. Any questions? You can ask Prabhu.
The Anil Prabhu is not there. Devanjali Mataji, bolo.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, wonderful class. It was very nice, very clear, understood everything.
Thank you, ma'am.
Super.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. We'll wind up, Prabhu.
Fantastic. V.S. Narayan Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
I
Krishna.
joined a bit late. This is available in YouTube, no? This one? This class?
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. I'll send it. Prabhu.
Hare
You
Krishna,
can check in the my name. You can get it.
But you can send it to I also missed in the
Wonderful,
beginning.
wonderful.
I'll send you. I'll send you link. I'll send.
And Tulsi Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Nice,
Hare Krishna.
nice. Hare Krishna, wonderful class, Prabhuji. So many points covered by Rameswar Prabhuji. So Prabhuji was speaking about one Ramayanam, Tulsidas Ramayanam, isn't that Prabhuji? You were speaking that one aspect is the base for Tulsidas Ramayanam. What was that? I just couldn't recollect.
What is that, mother?
You were saying that one the Ramayanam is the basis. This pastime or this concept is the base for that Ramayanam you were telling. Is it Tulsidas Ramayan?
Ramacharita Manas.
Ramacharita.
Yeah.
Okay, what that aspect? What did you tell Prabhuji? That
I will. I'll tell you, Mamaji.
but the
So
points
many
now.
things.
What is the basis? What all research you have done, Prabhuji? That what are the Puranas that you have quoted?
Yeah,
or-
I studied some blogs, Mataji, from ISKCON Chopati. They did that.
You did some R&D today to get all the things, research and development.
I will let you know, Mataji.
Mataji
I'll
also
say-
very inquisitive.
Yeah.
She goes. Ratnakar Madhusudan Prabhu. Endengilam Ratnakar, he is giving every day Prabhupada video
Hare
every day.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
No question, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you for that. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you for
And
all
you-
your Prabhupada videos. So
Thank
nicely
you.
you're sending every day.
Very good.
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Thank you, Ramesh Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Tulsi Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji.
the Lord Shiva is also narrator of story of Lord Rama, found in the Brahmanda Purana, which forms the basis for the Ramacharita Manas of Tulsidas.
Oh.
Brahmananda Purana.
Brahmananda Purana.
Brahman, it's not Brahmananda, Brahmanda Purana.
No, Prabhu,
Brahm-
Brahmananda. There is another Prabhu. This is Brahmananda Purana.
There's no Brahmananda at all. There's no name. I got all the 18 names. There's no Brahmananda. It's Brahmanda only.
There are Upapurans are there, Prabhu.
But in the main 18th Puran, Brahmananda is not there.
No, no, this
Maybe
is
in Upapuran.
Upapuran.
Upapuran. Super Prabhu.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
This all of you hear and write down, otherwise it will not come. So many
Yeah.
points. told.
Yeah. I will write down, Prabhuji. And that Prabhuji was saying, no, one yuga, Ajit Prabhu also mentioned that Shiva will become the supreme. It was told by one of the Swamis in one of the books, no? That,
Yeah, Prabhupada has written, I know, I don't know where, but one time he will become Supreme Lord because Krishna wanted him to become Supreme
Yeah, yeah.
Controller.
Yes.
Okay, Prabhu.
People want to to the best, sir.
Let's go pass
Pass
the
the Evacha. Pajitana Panway by Stabber, Anatapadi West Ki Jai, Prabhupada Ki Jai, Guru Ki Jai. His Grace, Rameswar, Kanai Prabhu Ki Jai Ho.
Jai.
Gauranga,
Nityananda.
Nityananda,
Gauranga.
Gauranga, Nityananda.
Gauranga.
Jai Jai Shri Radhesha.
Sam.
Sabko mile Vrindavan Dham. Prabhu, next Friday we have to find somebody. No, Prabhu, next Friday.
Yes, Prabhu. I'll find Prabhu. But tomorrow, Prabhu will take, no, Prabhu?
Yeah, you'll take it. He said
Because
he'll take
today
class
is traveling. Today is traveling, no? Yesterday.
today.
Today is traveling to Dhaka.
Yeah. Tomorrow he'll take. Day after tomorrow I'll take. Mataji will take mostly Wednesday.
Okay. Prabhu.
My throat is little better. I'm not singing. That's all.
Yeah. Keep like that, Prabhu. Okay,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.